Hi all and happy Saturday. So we're back for week 2 journal prompt and then on to the video where we're going to be working with January printables, some embossing powders, and I just really wanted to push further the sort of Fortuny, Venetian wallpaper kind of look. So I'm excited to get you guys over here and let's get going. Also, I am so thankful that so many of you really like the idea of the 52-week challenge together, and it was so much excitement, and you got me even more excited. So lots in store. The second week's journal prompt is Awaken. So now that we have taken a look at our response to the void, let's become even more aware by asking ourselves some questions. So for the next week, we'll explore questions regarding our art. And so in the coming weeks, I'll be asking questions, and the prompts will keep on leading us through a process of really just looking at our art in a non-judgmental way, but in a way of exploring and the excitement of discovery. Allow yourself to awaken to a fresh new experience and connection to art. We'll create fresh goals and new challenges. Take some time to ponder and answer the questions below, and afterwards look deeper into the things you've discovered last week from the void. So those questions are: what are my creative goals for the next 365 days? Yes, we get to look at, what do I want to have happen in the next 365 days? It could be anything. Whatever your desires are for your art, your exploration, your creativity, just think about them and just kind of jot them down. No, it doesn't have to be anything that's, written in concrete, and you can change them because we're going to have a lot of exploration. So something that may seem relevant today in 2 months may not, but something else may replace it. So it's just kind of like these starting points to just get ourselves going. What have I been wanting to do, but I have not gotten to yet? So maybe it's something you've been wanting to do, you just haven't gotten to it. So maybe with us working together and just having that accountability and that inspiration, you can see yourself, okay, maybe I can see myself getting that particular thing accomplished, or at least just begin to look into it, what have you. The other thing that I want you guys to think about, and this is really important, is just awaken to what your studio space is. Where are you creating? Is it a studio space? Is it a dedicated table space in the corner of your room? Is it a part of your guest bedroom set up, and you've got it there because, you really only use your guest bedroom a few times a year? Is it, just a corner in the family room, just a table in the corner that you can kind of carve out for yourself? What's important is just that you identify a spot. It doesn't matter the size. It doesn't matter the location. If it's a bookcase, let's say you can't get a table, but you use your dining room table, but you can put a little bookcase in the corner. And that bookcase is where you put your art supplies. It's where you put your journals and things you're working on. It becomes that dedicated space that you've carved out for yourself to work through this next 365-day challenge. And when you find that little space and you claim it, you begin to celebrate the process of continuing to stay in relationship with creating, stay in the space of filling this journal up totally. It's something about just making that little claim that, yeah, this little space is mine, because I hear so many times from my students and creatives over the year is, I don't really have any place to do anything. There is always a place to do something, always. It's just, you just have to think outside the box. And sometimes you may not be able to create in that space, but you can claim that as a little corner where you put everything. And then, yeah, maybe you do have to put stuff on the dining room or the kitchen table, or maybe there's an area in your family room that you work at, but you just can't keep your stuff out. That's fine. But it's really important to do that because I want you to begin to celebrate this journey. And so the whole point of awakening is we're awakening to our creative self so we can discover new things and we can find out, you know, who we are right now. Who are we in 6 months? I mean, I'm sure after coming out of 2020, we all can stand to be in the discovery process, because I know I learned a lot of things about myself in 2020, and some of them have been fantastic, and I think they'll serve me in 2021. Some I'm kind of processing out, you know? So this is a great time for us to just really kind of awaken back to a whole way of celebrating and discovering ourselves. So that's the journal prompt. Have fun with it. And in the meantime, we're going to pop over and we're going to get started in our project. So see you over there, and thanks again for your excitement, and we're gonna have a fabulous time this year. All right, see you in a bit. Okay, so now that we know what our journal prompt for week 2 is, which is to awaken, I think once you kind of get into the void and you explore what that means to you, there's an awakening. You know, sometimes you have an aha moment. You're like, okay, wow, I didn't think about something like that or whatever. And so I go to Awaken next because it does allow us to start fresh, to have new connections, new experiences. You know, we can have fresh goals, new challenges. And so it's allowing us to awaken to a whole nother aspect of ourselves as creators, our time in our studios, in our creative spaces, and just like to get fresh again to like, why do we do this, you know? So with that in mind, I'm going to tell you what we're going to work on. You can see we have some embossing powders. I'm excited about that. But in talking about our journal, the thing that I want to impress on Awaken is that we are approaching journaling differently. I'm proposing to you to kind of take a different pathway to journaling. And when we start off, it's going to seem like super simplistic. Okay, that doesn't seem very exciting, Robin. Some of you may think, wow, that's all you could put on your pages for a week. But I'm doing that on purpose because all of us have been able to do the short haul to journaling. We all can journal consistently for 30 days, for 45 days, and then something happens and we fall off. You know, that has been... I've heard that time and time again, and I know that was my challenge. But we have to think about, we're long distance runners. So we're building up our muscles. We don't have to come out the gate with all these brilliant things on the page. We're going to get there, and we're even going to come back and pick up some of these. But right now, all we're doing is just getting our muscles together. So don't worry about the fact that some of the pages may be simplistic. So I'm showing you my 7 pages. You had already, so this is... You'd already seen this. I basically am just putting down jelly prints that I know I want to come back and work with, or color schemes that I like. Same thing here. I'm going to come back and develop these, but we don't have to worry about that right now. Here I use some of my printables and put those tissue pulls that we did over top of it, just like we did here. So you may have some things laying around. Glue it to the page and build up. Here is just an ink piece that I had on just a scrap piece of drawing paper. I put that down first, and then I put that sort of, you know, Celadon over top of it. So I'm slowly building up pages that I can come back to. So that is where we're going with this. Don't worry. Go through your next 7 days thinking about awakening. If you want to write things on your page, you can even write stuff on your page and then come back and cover it up with some of the tissue paper. So maybe you see a little bit of the writing, because you're actually starting to dump out into your journal a lot of your ideas about what's coming up. You can kind of approach this as sort of a personal diary, and I'll have to make sure I show you mine, where one of the years when I really challenged myself, I kind of did it like a diary almost. I was writing stuff in there, but then putting some artwork in there and doing some collage. So just let yourself have at it, but no criticisms, no self-judgment. So I thought what we're going to do today is, many of you already started grabbing my printables, where with the Fortuny-Like Gelli prints that we did a few weeks back. And so, oh my goodness, I just love these. So I'll just do a flip for those who haven't seen it. I mean, a lot of you've already purchased them. And I thought what would be fun is for us to even take these further and kind of make them a bit flocked, like, and really give them more of an interest, like, you know, Venetian wallpaper or something like that. I thought that would be really neat. And I love embossing powders. I am an embossing powder queen from way back. I used to love them years and years ago. And so some of you probably still have a lot of embossing powders. If not, they're real cheap and inexpensive. You can pick some up, order some online. I'll be using Seth's. Many of you know that I'm on Seth's creative team, so I get a lot of his products, and I love using them. They're just really, this is an artist who's created products around things that he's used and ideas that he's developed with his own artwork, and he and I have a similar aesthetic, so I really enjoy his color palettes. They really work with my color palette. And so I always like to share his products too. And all these powders and stuff are really inexpensive. And Seth is so neat and sweet that you can reach out to him, phone or email, if you have any questions. If something he has is out of stock, let him know when it comes back in. He'll reach out to you and let you know. I just love how etheric that is. That's my text. Remember we did that a few sessions back. So I put some of that in there. So there are 25 of these, I think there are, in this kit. You know, it's always $6, but a lot of good stuff to work with. So I'm going to figure out, I know I want to use this. So we're going to pull a few. I know I was flipping through them. I thought I want to do this one too. Oh, this is good. This is like really Venetian colors too, right? And then there's another one. I'm going to pull this one out. So I'm going to pull a few out right now for us to get started. I'm even going to pull out like a coppery one, because there's some powders we can use. There's some, like, this is a good one. That even really, look at me, I'm pulling them all out. Okay, so we'll get a few out. So the link for this is in the video, in the description right below the video. So it'll take you a link right over there. Grab them if you want. But certainly whatever papers you already have, things you're already working with, you know, have at it. But I thought I would do this process because this week I'll use these in my journal, as well as I'm sure I'll take bits of these and come back and start embellishing these papers more. So that's the kind of idea I'm having. So a lot of times the techniques that we're going to work with will be things that you definitely, it's you know, gathering things that you can put back into your journals. So we're learning techniques, but we're also using them and remembering them as a part of our journaling process. Now, I've pulled some stencils. I like this sort of Harlequin pattern. It reminds me, it's like very Venetian, and I've had this stencil forever. I don't even remember whose stencil this is, to be honest. It may be Tim Holtz, but I'm sorry, I really don't remember. But then I thought I would pull my small script there. I thought that that could sort of work in places. And then this sort of Baroque pattern. I have these stencils. I love this pattern. So that one, and then I have a larger version of it, which I love printing with this. So I thought we could do that one. And then this circle pattern, I always like using it. And then I do have this sort of zebra pattern, which I feel that like a lot of the Fortuny kind of mimicked these sort of patterns loosely, sort of the animal print type of things loosely, along with the washi. So we'll see. So let's get going here. So that's what I'm going to use as stencils. I think I'm going to start off with this one. Okay. And then move these over. We'll start off with those. I like using these makeup sponges that you get from the Dollar Tree, the dollar store or whatever. Because what we're going to do is we're going to sponge through. So let me see which ones we're going to start with. I think let's take this one. And move these out the way. And so what we're going to do is the palettes that I have are They're like, this is weathered gold, crusty copper, blue moon. There is a space dust, which is sort of like a bluish silvery color, and etched platinum. So I will obviously link all this stuff below the video. So if you do want to check out some of Seth's stuff, you'll love them because they are just superior. You'll see when I'm using them. And then the Wild embossing pad. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start off by taking our sponge. So I'm going to lay this down here. And so we want to start off with, let me make sure I've got enough light here. For some reason, it's a lot of light on the, when I look at my monitor, but I wasn't seeing things too well. So what I like to do is I literally take the embossing pad and I just really pounce in here. I'm going to just get good coverage. I just think, if I haven't done this on these printables yet, but just in my mind's eye, I just think it's going to be really pretty. Now I got to figure out which color I want to use here. So I have the crusty copper, maybe the weather. Let's do the weather gold because this is already sort of a brown palette. So I'm thinking that if we do the that gold, that could be really pretty. And then these can just, we can, it's creating a lot of interesting papers that we can use not only in our, our artwork, other work that you're doing in your studio, but how exciting is it just to be able to document a lot of the techniques that you're using so that you can remember them throughout the year. And that's why I really keep an ongoing journal, because truthfully, I like putting the techniques that I'm working on in that journal. Sometimes I'll make little notes on the page so that when I come back to it, I can remember. Because in the course of the year, you do a lot of different things in your studio. I'm telling you, you can forget some of that stuff. And then when it does come back to you at a point, you're like, oh my goodness, how did I forget this? So that's looking good. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and put it here. Might as well grab it. I probably should, like, what would look better is to stagger it. So that's really what you should do to make it look like a wallpaper. So let's do that. So if you want to use it as a full page, or if you want to use a section of it, it'll have more of a wallpaper look. For years, I sold my designs in the surface design industry. So I would create a lot of these type of things, which is why I used a lot of embossing powder back then. But you had to kind of do these, put things in a CAD program and, make it look. You had to create repeats and all that kind of stuff. So I'm always mindful of that when I'm like doing my art, to kind of replicate different things. So then what you want to do is take this bit at the top and just grab the other half of it. This stuff stays sticky a good while, so you don't have to worry about it drying on you. Like, you can get your whole pattern down. And it's okay if you miss some places when you actually go to do this, because you know how the Venetian patterns are like that anyhow. And Fortuny stuff is particularly like that. So I got that. So let's just grab a little bit of this off the edge. This isn't really done it as science, but you know, you get the, you know, we get the idea of what it's going to look like. So you do partial patterns as well, okay? You need your heat gun too. You can use a heat gun or a blow dryer. I love using, I don't know what it is about embossing powders that I like so much, but I really enjoy using them. They're kind of like, it's almost like a meditation of sorts, you know? You get a lot of impact with them, but yet, like, you don't get stressed out trying to use them. Okay. Okay, so there. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to get weathered gold. Shake it up. Just kind of sprinkle it on. I normally sprinkle it on at the top end of things. And then just kind of let it roll down the page. Okay. And then put it back on. Because I've got to get this edge here. Wow, that looks good. Looks like I got it all. Let's put some here. So we'll go the other way. Okay. Okay, so I like to make sure I put it away. Because when that blow dryer hits, no, the heat gun, you don't want it everywhere. Like I was saying, the nice thing about this is that, you know, it stays wet long enough so you don't feel like you got to rush to get everything down. Okay, so now turn my heat gun on. It's going to be a little noisy, so turn the volume down if it gets a little weird. So I kind of like to go over the whole page and start heating it up. So what happens with that is that it starts getting things warmed up, and it keeps you from overheating a spot and maybe burning it. But once it starts going, it goes. Okay, it's starting to go now. Oh, this is pretty. Now I know this stencil that I'm using right here I got from Michael's, I want to say, and I think it was a Martha Stewart. But you can find this type of Baroque pattern everywhere, so. I'll look for some links on Amazon because I know a lot of people are not leaving out the house, and I know I've seen them on Amazon too. Oh my goodness, it's just like magic when it appears. I love seeing the reveal. So I kind of just lifted, make sure, look at it all, make sure I got it, got everything. Looks like I did. Okay. Wow. Can you guys see that already? Look at that. You can see it. Oh my God, is that gorgeous? Oh, look at that. So being able to use that, like, you know, you can mix it in with your jelly prints, you know, you can rip pieces of this, make it, oh my goodness, this is good. I'm loving this. Oh, okay. All right, let's put that one aside. Let's do some more. Okay. Oh, so also what I like to do is I keep my little baby wipes around, because you do kind of want to wipe it off, because the stencil does stay sticky. So I just go ahead and just wipe it off. Okay. All right, so I was thinking we could, let's look at these colors. So this one is Blue Moon. Let's try that one on this one. I could see that looking pretty good. Blue Moon. And let's see, which stencil are we going to use? Let's use, you know what? I wonder if we use my scripting stencil. If that subtle pattern that it creates would really, it'll be interesting, because it's by it being, we're going to do that, by it being sort of like really small, it'll be subtle. And maybe we'll do that with a little bit of, how about we do like a corner of this off of the side, maybe, just to get a little bit of that scrolling, maybe down here. And we can overlap. Let's try that. So we'll do some, we'll get some of this scrolling. And you get using this makeup sponge, you get just the right amount. Like, it's not too much. It really is a good way to control what you're getting down. Excuse me. And it's not messy. So, okay. So we'll put that there. And then let's take a bit of this. Let's start here. Be really pretty. So really just push it down in here, because those spaces, this is a small one, but I really wanted to just have like a subtle pattern too, you know, just to see what that'd look like. Okay, that's looking good. All right, so kind of have to put it up so I can see what I'm doing here. So let's put some down in this corner. And I'm thinking, so I'm using stencils, but we can also, you can use stamps, of course, by stamping into the, in fact, you know what? We'll do that, because I have a stamp that I think will look nice. I mean, I have a number of them I think will look nice, but I know I have a Tim Holtz one up there that may be good. Also, I have another Seth one up there that I think has a nice pattern that would go with this. So we'll see. Okay, so there we have that. And just kind of seeing where everything stops. So I'm going to take kind of want to, we're just kind of creating a pattern. Very random. Just to kind of see. Okay. So we're just kind of giving it that, oh, that's nice. And I think I'll do a bit of that up here. Come on, let's stay in place. And I'm kind of just, I'm not trying to stamp so the pattern is like super good. Okay, so let's go ahead. Okay, so let's use this Blue Moon. Love that. Love the way it sounds. Okay. Okay, so let's just see what happens here. And you know, you can over, you know, you can get one color down. You can always come back and do another color on top of it. And I oftentimes will do that. I'll do one layer of color and then I come back and we'll do another layer on top of it. So, you know, you can have as much fun with this as possible. This is just kind of, we're having an idea session here. Just to kind of get creative juices flowing. Where are we right now? Okay, looking good time-wise. I always got to cover this up because I have been known. And cover up your embossing pad too, because stuff can blow on it or you don't want to start drying it out. I kind of like to go over it and kind of get everything warmed up, like I said. Because we have the pattern underneath, you just kind of want your overprinting. It can be random or it can be organized, but we want the pattern underneath to also this Blue Moon is really pretty. Yeah, I like the way this script came out. It's just really subtle, very thin, almost like a ink pen did it, which is what I was wanting to see happen. These embossing powders are really pretty because they have like a lot of two-tone kind of colors in them. So I'll let you see. See how, I mean, does not, now that gives a really Fortuny kind of look to it. Oh, I love it. But you see how the pattern, how the colors really have, it's like a flocked, or it's multiple kind of colors in it. So it really gives you that variation of and here's the scripting. See how subtle and pretty, it really does look like an ink pen or something just sketched away on it. So I love that. And I'll show you. Okay, so we can use silver tones, but I kind of like things that kind of start off the page. Now you can actually do it right over what you've embossed, so the kind of things kind of blend in to each other. I sort of like that. So you're kind of like over stamping. We're just kind of just going to go over stuff that we already have down there, and I'm going to come down in this area and just grab a few lines. I'm not going to do all of them. Kind of mix it up, you know, you don't have to do the whole row. So we'll do like 3 of them. Okay, and over here, let's just take a part of this pattern, since we already, and let's just kind of overprint right here. Just makes more interest too when you kind of overprint, so you're not feeling like everything is like just so, you know, you're kind of creating these subtle layers. Alrighty, I think that's good. All right, so let's go for the I like to shake it up because you can see it's so much variation in color in here. I don't know if you can sort of see it, but you can see it once it's maybe like that. Can you see? Oh no, it's kind of hard. It's not focusing, but so I think that's what I really like about these embossing powders, because like I said, I've used, you know, I love embossing powder. I used to use it quite a lot. But the colors were they were like always flat actually. Few companies were kind of creating some with a little bit more interest, but mostly not. So when I see why they call them wow, because when I first used them, I was like, oh my goodness, wow. You know, like I wasn't expecting all that color change. Okay, I think we grabbed everything. Yep, that looks good. So this is going to be a silver. So I think keeping that with the blue and this sort of silver, you know, is just really nice icy tones that goes with this background. This is fun. Okay, let's get some more. Oh, this is nice. Alrighty. Just always go back over it again, because sometimes it's not completely you know, set. So look at that. So see how we have that over patterning like down there. So like these are just really neat bits and sections that can be used. I mean, look at that. That's just brilliant. Oh my goodness, that looks good. That scripting over that washed background with like this even sort of Baroque pattern and this sort of like Harlequin underneath. Oh, I love it. Okay, so let's we got a couple nice sheets going there. Let me see if I can pull my stamps down and without crashing everything. Okay, all right. I know that I have some random pattern ones that would really look good. Let's use, I like Incest. I really like that one. That has like an old world feel to it. And we're going to do that along with, let's do that along with this Baroque stamp that I have from Tim Holtz. This is like a real neat Asian pattern too, but I'm going to use this one. I really like this one when I use it. It's so, I don't know, it really gives that in gold. It's like so pretty. Let's do that one. And so that, I'll show you what collection. So that's Seth Apter's. I'll put all this below. I'll make sure I put the link below. Okay. And then this is Baroque in Tim Holtz. So I think this will fit nicely in with what we're doing. Yeah. So I've used that. Okay, so now let's find another sheet. What do we want to do here? So we have, let's use this Space Dust with maybe the Crusty Copper. Let's just see. So which one do we want to go for? Space Dust with Crusty Copper. Maybe this one. Okay, because we want one that's going to show up on there. Okay, so this one we can literally paper down for overstamping. My thing is I'm going to use this as kind of sort of like a border idea. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this one down. Take that off. And so what we're going to do is we're going to actually, I'm going to get it on the whole. So really press down. Probably shouldn't do it right on top of that just in case. So really I'll press down and get a good amount on there. Then we'll start by kind of being partially off the page all the way around. It's a good way to start your prints. That way you get a nice overall print and it kind of stays random. And you can use more of your piece if it's not like so that it's nothing there, you know, like all the way around or something. Okay, so we'll do that. So we're going to skip a bit, and we're going to come back, and we're going to get sort of see where it ended. I'm going to create like a little space and then put that down there. Okay. So then I'm going to use Seth's, and we're going to do this as kind of a gilded piece. So I kind of keep on lifting it up so I can see where my pattern stopped. So right there. Some more on here. It's always good to just keep on inking it. It's probably enough to make another impression, but I don't like it to go, you know, kind of thin. Oh, this is so pretty. It's like a chain. You could actually use this one stamp, I think, and go all over this whole thing, and it would like really make a really pretty chain pattern. You'll see, because I'm going to do it. So this kind of gives you the Baroque. So if you have stamps that are like this, they're sort of Baroque or florally or curly Q, pull them out. Anything that, you know, anything that sort of reminds you of a Venetian pattern. So now I'm going to switch it because I have a full piece there. So I'm going to start this one off here so that the half going off the page is at the top. Just how you kind of like create sort of these random, what they call repeat patterns. So, moving it up, I just got to do the back side again. Side here. Okay. So, kind of go up right here. Righty. Okay, so actually I wanted that to stand out in gold. So what am I going to do? I was going to use, what color? Copper. I'm gonna do this because I really want this chain to be a different color. So I think I can just sprinkle it sort of straight down. Try to avoid, because I shouldn't have stamped it yet. That's the point I'm making. But I think we can get this. And then what I do is I can just let it just fold the page and just let it come straight down. Oh, I don't believe I did it. Yay! Okay, I avoided that other bit. So now what we're going to do is I know I want to put another chain there and then one more of these. So we're just going to get this stamped because it's going to kind of be off the page. Okay. So if, you know, if I had to do it again, I would definitely make sure that, so now this is going down here, so I need to leave space there. I know this may be getting a little complicated, but I know you guys are with me. I know you're with me. Alrighty. And then just one more time for just right down here. Okay. So we're going to put the, how's our time doing? We're doing good. we are going to put I'm gonna cover this up because I got to come back for that. So this one is called Space Dust. So let's see what we get. We don't have to worry about that now because this one, that's right, this is sort of like a midnight blue color. It's really pretty. Okay, so wow, gorgeous. Oh my goodness, this is good. This is good. Wow, see that? Oh gosh, it's gonna be good. Get some more right down here. Look at my overprinting. I can take that piece of paper and you can definitely take and also set your on even your overstamping pages, set those too, because you can put some coffee staining on it and those colors will really pop and be pretty. Okay, I feel like I need some more right here on this edge. It's not. Just try to make sure when you're moving your paper around you don't get your fingers in smudging what you already had down. Okay, I knew I needed to get some more there. Okay. So now what we're going to do is just, we'll go ahead and set this and then we'll come back and get that last bit of copper. No need to press our luck. See how good that looks? Oh, see how that chain pattern, it just really has a really old world vibe. It just depends on how you use things. And I'll make sure I link these stencils and what have you so you guys can find them. This space dust is so pretty. It is such a pretty blue. It's nice having those two size patterns in the pack as well. Okay. Wow. Look at that. See how yummy it is? Oh my goodness. That blue is gorgeous. And it's funny, I'm really not a blue person, but I do like certain blues. I like these old world blues, sort of the Venetian blue greens. I love, I also love, let's go ahead and do this chain link here. Sort of like indigos. I love indigo blues. So I really like the blues that are in this kit. And they come in threes. So the 3-pack that I'll link for also has a turquoise, but I think this turquoise is a little bit bright for what we're doing on our papers. I think for Venetian, like some of the papers could actually handle it, actually, if I think about it. Let me see if I have an example of what that color looks like. I think I might have some down here in my other work. Yeah, I do. I can show you what that one looks like. Yeah, I mean, actually, we do have some papers in the pack that would look good with. Because I love turquoise anyway. So let's just do another thing here. And I'll show you what the turquoise looks like so you'll know. Okay, right there. Okay. I don't know if I got that middle area that good. Did I? I'm not going to overstamp it yet, because if I overstamp it and then I get a double pattern, I'm not going to be happy. I can always come back and pick it up. So crusty copper. Looks like it's a little thin right there. So I'd rather just come back and pick it up than to make a mistake. Oh, it was there. See, I'm glad I didn't. Oh, but I would have overprinted it. See, look at that chain. I love that chain. So let's put this back. Oops, wait a minute. Yep, crusty copper. Alrighty, so we've got some good pieces going for our journal. Yep. Oh, love it. Wow. See? I love this. Oh my goodness. This is going to be good in our journals. Because literally, you know, of course we can put it down as a page in it. How yummy would that be? To kind of create a background to get started in. And then even over in some of the pages we've already done, like over here with this blue-green, I actually do some collaging where this started collaging over this background. So I would say definitely take and use some of these papers or whatever you have. You know, you may already have something else you've been working on, but I wanted to show you this technique because I'm going to definitely be using this in the journals. How pretty are these? Oh boy. Oh, I love this. I know even like where I started laying stuff down, I could actually come back. See how that works together? So I could actually come back and rip some of this and lay that down over top of it, which I probably am going to do. You know, we just have all of these, but then I'm also going to take and move forward with some of these, and then just some of the papers without any you know, embossing on them, because you can either come back and do intuitive scripting over these, and boy, the sky's the limit, as you can see. So I'm loving this. So let me show you what the this is what the turquoise looks like. It's really a pretty color. In fact, the turquoise is one of my favorite colors in the whole collection. But you know what? That would look nice over, I mean, you definitely could work it into this color palette. That pink I was thinking about we have. Could actually do some overstamping, like in a Baroque pattern. Like this Baroque pattern here. Oh, that would be pretty with the turquoise. So anyhow, I'm gonna stop there because we're coming up on the hour and I could just go on and on and on. I hope you guys really enjoyed that this whole little hangout. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I set this because I'm a coffee stain this, and I'll show you guys this the next time because I'll have this in the journal as well. So, you know, I use everything. But I'll have the links for everything I use below, or as many things as I can link. And so have at it. So we're dealing with Awaken, you know, new discoveries, new permissions, new connections, just, you know, just coup de torchon. We're just going to clean the slate, and we're going to just have no rules, no rights, no wrongs, and we're just going to enjoy this year of journaling with 365 days when we're complete. And let's think differently about some of our products. You know, probably all of you at some point or another have some embossing powders or something like this, or run out and get a few of them. It's really an inexpensive medium, but it has a lot of bang for its buck. I love these. And pull out some of your old stencils, stamps you have, and have at it. So I think that's everything. Till next week. I'm looking forward to week 3. And any questions, of course, you guys, I'm always answering your comments. Thanks so much for them. I'm so happy that you guys were excited about this 52-week. It was just like resounding excitement in the community. So I was really happy that I hit something that really got you guys excited. And yeah, just ask me all the questions you want. And if you have any personal questions, any direct questions, you can always get me at info@robinmcclendon.com. And I guess that's everything. Okay, so until next week, have at it. Love you guys so much. Make sure you thumb up the video if you liked it. If you're new to my community, please hit the subscribe button and hit that bell because you don't get notifications without it. All right, guys, take care. And until next week, I shall see you. Stay safe, stay happy. And most importantly, you know, not more important than staying safe, but definitely next to it is make sure you stay creating. All right, love you guys. Bye-bye. I thought I would throw in some bonus footage. Because after I turned the camera on, I said, let me see what this turquoise would look like on the pink. And then I felt guilty not showing you guys. So just some quick bonus footage. It really is pretty. Wow. Yeah, that was worth doing. I wanted to see, when I realized that that would really look good in this kit, especially with the pinks and stuff, that turquoisey Venetian turquoise. Oh, it's just gorgeous. So I just wanted to show you what that one looked like because it does come in the grouping, and I didn't want you to wonder what the turquoise looked like, but that's just pretty. I can definitely see using sections of this. Oh my goodness. Love it. All right. See you guys. Bye-bye.